Hello everyone. So this is Jacky. So he is the WGP Season 3 Malaysia third place. So congratulations
Okay,
for
thank you.
topping. Alright, so is this your first time topping in major events
I
actually?
mean, to be honest, this is the first time that I join a major event, especially since I started Vanguard.
I see, okay.
Yeah.
And surprisingly, you got top three.
Yeah.
That's an achievement, actually.
Yeah.
Okay, so like the previous, let's say like the previous WGPs and the previous, like PCS, those
Mhm.
kind of top tournaments, you've like never joined explicitly, but
Mm.
you didn't join. So this is like the Purelight Expo is like season 3 is the first one you joined, then you took lah.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a very great achievement. Okay. So like, how was your like overall experience in like playing the tournament, especially.
I mean, it's kind of fresh to me. It's because that actually before the WGP, ever since that I stepped into the TCG areas or TCG circles, my main objective is to expand the community, especially from our shop, Yoshibot Games, and we are more focused on training our locals and our friends, and that's why the first motive that I have is to join the official judge team so that I will be more familiar with the rulings and all of the penalty as well, so that our locals and our community won't violate it or accidentally touch any kinds of penalty. Yeah, but after that, I feel like if I want to let more of the players or the locals know more about us, or to have more persuasive suggestions for them, I think that I should train hard and to let them know that uh, how to say how that how we train and how we are really getting serious, taking seriously into the TCG field, especially the Kafrai Vanguard.
So like in thank you for that answer. So like for WGP like season 4 and like season 3 in general lah. So in all of the fights that you've ever had, so what was the one that you remember the most? Like, or what is the which fight do you feel the most excited about, or or like any other any highlights or from the matches, the ones that you remember?
Yeah, I do remember for the second to third round, while I'm facing Omina Gujo, Omina Secret. Yeah, so basically you know that the Vanguard main skill is to neglect your triggers power for adding into your Vanguard and units. So what I remember is before the times out, which is like around 5 minutes, um, I do have one card that very useful to me, and when its Vanguard's hit, since the Vanguard's got double attack, so I decided to use the Blitz Order. Common Blitz Order that wherever how many piece of opponent cards is imprisoned into my prison, and I can choose one of the unit to minus uh, 5k times how many cards of it. Yeah. So I remember during that time I got 6 cards in prison. Yeah. And when it's Vanguard hits, and I remember the first attack is around 31. Yeah. So I immediately just just like deduct until 1000, and it directly cannot be hit.
It cannot be hit.
Yeah.
That's actually a very interesting move because I saw in the final, like during the finals as well, they also use that Blitz Order, which is like I didn't expect you to use that card, but it's really effective actually. So especially if you already did at grade 4 and then like say you have like a lot of like 10, 11 cards in prison, that is like you minus a lot of cards, you minus a lot of power already. So this is a very interesting build, honestly speaking.
Just imagine that when I arrive grade 4 and there's over like maybe 8 to 10 cards in my prison, I can directly choose one unit to minus for 50k. Yeah, so I mean, that's one of the card that I would also would like to thanks to one of my friends, which is Benjamin Lee. Yeah, he's the one who inspired me to use that card.
Okay, yeah, that's a good one. Okay, so shout out to Ben Lee.
Yeah.
Shout out, okay, so Benjamin Lee. So yeah, he also plays Seraph as well, right? If
Yeah.
I remember. So that's a like the way that like I see like your play style and his play style. Not to say it's the same, but I can see the whole usage of using the blitz order is also very important as well. So
Yeah.
that's why like actually that can work because Seraph cannot use the Sanctitude, obviously. So that's why you guys have to rely on the blitz order to actually like counter the high power, which actually works in a sense. So yeah, that's nice. So do you remember all your matches and like who do you fight against? Who do you lose to?
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, I have lost 2 rounds during the siege. So another match that I would remember is when I'm facing Mushiking.
Mushiking.
Yeah, so I can say that obviously he might be the only one who played Mushiking during the match.
Okay.
Yeah, so I mean it's quite fresh for us because within our locals community, we have less players who are playing Mushiking, or we can say that collaboration deck. So when I'm facing it, it feel like kind of you didn't have the confidence to win the match. Yeah, but at the end also same lah. Yeah, because my opponent he get the OTs and I didn't have any Sentinel in my hand, and I just lost the match.
Okay. So you lost to Mushiking and you lost to another deck is what?
I think is Youth Bird.
Youth Bird, okay. That was during the Swiss round as well. So like around, I think it's also like pretty late as well, right? Around round 6 or round 7.
Yeah, round 6.
Round 6, okay. So you lost to Mushiking on round 8 or round 9?
I think it's round 7.
Round 7, okay. So you went with you went in top 8 with X2 meaning to say. Have you fought against like Michael, Lianon, Dragiwald?
Yeah, I do fought with my goal. Yeah, within one of the match, and I can say that my goal and Morphorica, which is the Bangring deck, is one of the weakness with you are playing Seraph. Yeah, it's because that my goal have strong rush ability, so it can be fulfilled when it's grade 2. Yeah, so I'm grateful for my deck, which is my opponent got a little bit break, and although he can keep calling out all of the units that he have, but the thing is he didn't have persona, right? Yeah, which is Tomori. Yeah, so it made me have the advantage to capture all his souls. So it also caused that my opponent due to didn't have the persona ability, so he didn't have any soul to soul dust to call the unit out from the soul from the binder. Yeah, and I feel very lucky because I didn't face any. I didn't face any Liano, Dragiro.
Oh, you didn't face them?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And I didn't even face Morphorica because I will be honest that until today, Morphorica is still a hard counter for Seraph.
Yeah, true. Yeah, makes sense. So, like, is there a reason why you want to bring Seraph into WGP? Was it mainly because of Youth Bird or was it mainly because of something else?
So, I believe that everyone have a motive to join any of the major tournament or events. So, for myself, the main reason that I bring Seraph is I have 2 reasons. So it's not about Youth Bird, but it's because Seraph is one of the deck that I started to play Vanguard. So I've been attracted by the art and the skill of it.
Okay.
Yeah. And to be honest, I can say that I got all of the Brand Gate deck. Yeah, but why I choose Seraph instead of maybe Eva, because during that time we also know that EVA is unrestricted with Koay Russia. Yeah, but I just feel like since EVA is the that lead me into this circle or community, so I want to show everyone that the deck that I start at the beginning is the deck that I have mastered.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, and the second reason for me to bring a Brangate deck is not only because of I'm a Brangate main, but I want to let everyone to know that yeah, this time the top four prizes is the Brangate OT. So I have the responsibility to use the Brangate deck to win it back.
That's actually a very nice story. Yeah, actually it makes sense. Yeah, I mean it's very lucky lah, because the main price for this is actually the Brangate OTA. What about the PG actually? PG, was it like, it's not this one, right? Because I remember, was it it's Stoic Kia this time, right?
If I'm not mistaken, during the season 3 is K2.
Okay.
Yeah, but because previously during WGP season 2 Malaysia, we also got allocated one of our team members to Sabah for playing. It's also because the same reason.
Okay. Right.
During season 2, the OT is the
Kettle.
OT is Kettle OT, and he is also a captain main.
Okay.
Yeah, so he want to use his captain deck to win the OT that he want.
Okay.
And that during that time, the PG is also Brangate PG. So we just regard that why not we like exchange it. Yeah, if I can make it to top 8. Yeah, so that's how I got the Brangate PG.
Okay. Right, that's a very what do you say? I would say there's a very interesting because like story as to why you want to bring Seraph, because in my own, like, a lot of like experiences, right, interviewing, like asking players questions. Oh, this because like this deck is meta. It's because like this deck can filter a lot, and like this and that. Because of all of the decks that I least expected to top was actually Seraph. Actually, so I didn't like expect like, or like any other grade 4 decks, like say Magnolia, Magnolia Elder, grade 4 Boost, or like Bastion Prime. Bastion Prime maybe yes lah, because it's still a Bastion meta actually.
Yeah.
So you can say that, because this macam all the grade 4 decks is like pretty. You don't see them on the meta, but you surprisingly like got Torchic and Seraph, which surprises like not only me but also like the probably the majority of the the Vanguard community as well. It's like, wait, actually meta can be very like Seraph can be meta, because people did not really, like what you explained earlier, because people did not really expect that it can actually counter like a lot of decks like Myco, Euphoria, and etc. Right? Maybe Lianon, I'm not sure lah. But Dragivolt also, I'm not, because you haven't fought against Dragivolt, so I don't know what's your experience on it either. So,
but the day after the WGP, I actually got join others card shop locals tournament, and luckily we got see different variants of the deck, like Minerva, Leonor, and Dragivo. And I got fight with some of the Dragivo deck, and I believe that that's one of the weakness of the Dragivo, which is if he gonna rush, then it's probably hard to let him to survive until he can ride the grade 4. Yeah. So, but the thing is, if they are going first, I believe it's very strong and it's a threat to my deck.
Okay, yeah. So, yeah, thank you for that answer. Actually, so maybe for like for the last thing, maybe you can just like any advice or any recommendations or anything you want to tell the players, like how to use Seraph, or how to top at tournaments actually. Maybe you can
So, what I can say is, it's not about how to use the deck or how can we talk with different kind of strategy, but what I meant is, I can quote from the anime that just ended, which is the season 3 of World Dress Tough Vanguard. So with from the last match, which is Juju versus the Koay, they define that what are the happiness on playing Vanguard. So you can see that different kinds of players, they got their different kind of definition on happiness. Some might think that they just enjoy from the failure. Someone say that collection is also one of the happiness for him to play Vanguard. So what I think is, no matter what tournament, whether it's major tournament or small tournament, you can just use what you want to use, what you like. Yeah. So I believe that that's the way that you can enjoy the tournament instead of just care about win or lose.
Yeah, actually that's a very good advice. So yeah, once again, thank you, Jacky. After that, we'll move on to his deck profile. So we will stop the video for the time being, and then we go straight into his what deck profile. All right. So thank you, Jacky. Alright, so Jacky, maybe you can start by introducing like your deck profile. So maybe what about like your right line? So can you introduce like your right line?
Okay, sure. So although I have already changed my decklog due to today we got some major events. So but during WGP, my starter is using Office, which is Cardinal. Yeah, so why I'm using Cardinal is because during that time, we surely know that everyone is hyped for Bastion, Accord, and Office Mask. Yeah, so due to my playstyle is different from Office, because Office Mask we know that is kind of a slow play deck. Yeah, and my deck is more focused on calling out unit and just rush my opponent. So when I'm playing the Cardinals, my opponent will think that maybe I'm using Office, so their hand decision will change. So due to if they are facing some rush deck, they will certainly save some defensive option for their hands, which is before mulligans. I mean after mulligans. So for me to play Office will make them feel like they will kind of save for the first few turns. Yeah.
Okay.
So after I ride my Aurora Battle Princess, they will like their hand in enough for them to guard most of my attack. Yeah. So that's the way that I build my right lines.
Okay. Alright. So maybe so there's a great one is just to look for the prison order like maybe.
Yeah. So the grade 1 unit is to mainly search for our orders. And the grade 2 we can say that it's one of the game changing for the deck. So the grade 2 is when your opponent need to give one hand cards into the prison. So during that time they need to decide that what card they need to give. If they give some defensive option, they will have very less defensive for them to guard their vanguard. Yeah. So with that, I will pair with some of the units so that I can perform a magic number to attack my opponent, so that they didn't have any defensive option but only can take the damage.
Okay, that's interesting. So Seraph, obviously the highlight will be Seraph's. I mean, of course, if you're playing Seraph, that means that you'll be playing Seraph Purelight. So this one is the grade 3 is the one that you can counterblast 1 and prison to opponent.
Yeah.
And opponent, if like say your prison have grade 3, then can triple drive it, right?
Yeah, so basically my Seraph main of the highlight is it can perform 3 drive check. So if my prison got 1 card or above, my Vanguard will plus 10k. And if got 3 or more, my Vanguard will plus 1 drive. So it's quite interesting that it just add on 1 drive instead of giving it triple drive ability. So if my Vanguard getting super drive ability, it will be guarded by the Sentinel PG. Which is the Sentinel PR. So this made this Seraph being more advantage compared with the others grade 4 deck.
Okay, very interesting. Okay, so this is the right line for the time being.
Yeah.
Okay, so what about your main deck actually?
Okay.
If we move on to your main deck.
So mainly we will have the prison. So this is the essential parts that we need in our Seraph deck. So normally we will play one of it. It's because that you will need two. And the thing that we only need to avoid is during mulligans it will get into our hand. Because it will let us to less one hand cards. So our prison skill is to let our opponent to use it. So how do we use it is when we set we have to rest one of our units. So it comes to we have two options. So the first one is for first to go we just rest our Vanguard since we can't attack. But for second to go we have two options, which is you can call out one unit, rest it and let your Vanguard to do the attack, or you just directly rest your Vanguard. So because we know that some of the deck will need to control their damage and we need to control on certain circumstances. So sometimes it's good that when you rest the Vanguard. So I can say that what I recall during my top 8 battle, when I'm facing Gilbert, so we know that Gilbert is very fast on filtering the deck and to put the revolve form into the soul. So I can say that my opponent made some tiny mistake. So during the first battle, my first turn, when I ride, I directly rest my Vanguard to end my phase, so that my opponent didn't have any counterblast to use it.
CB deny.
CB deny, and he chose to call out the unit for him to filter the deck to put the gas into the soul. So at that time, I can just simply attack his rearguard, to perform another CB deny. So it's made that the full blast that he just discard for riding, made it that it's not useful for him since he can't take it back. Because he didn't have any counter blast.
True.
So that's one kind of strategy that we can use. So the two skill that my opponent can use is to soul blast one and call one unit out, and counter blast one to call two unit. But this will make some certain advantage for the opponent to use the on-place effect of the card. But it will certainly help us since that your opponent won't have enough resource to perform other ability.
Okay, so I've seen a lot of very funny things that when you rest the Vanguard and you soul charge, you have to soul charge 3 to you rest Vanguard and then you have to soul charge 3, right? So I've seen a lot of people soul charge their triggers, even soul charge their OT. Has that happened to you in some matches?
I remember got one match I just directly soul charge one criticals, one heal and one OT. So it's kind of awkward to me. But because I have played this deck for a long time, so when my OT been soul charging it, I quite feel like I already have the I have mentally prepared for it.
Okay.
So but this also leads to another things that you need to train your mentality when you are facing any kind of that, because at the end of the day we can say that Card Vanguard is still kind of a luck. So you have to prepare for it. Even though if your opponent check OTs or you can't heal during your damage check, you just need to remember that this game
Yeah.
instead of very competitive environment. Yeah.
Alright. Alright, so only that's nice. Okay, so what about the rest of your deck? So like we know that you've played one season. So what about the like your Great Force?
Okay. So for my grade 4 unit with Seraph Purelight, I just playing it for 3 pieces, and I will talk it later why. But for the skill is when placed, we can counterblast 1 and soul blast 1 Seraph in his name card from the soul, and I can perform capture from my opponent's hand, soul, and railguns. So at most I can capture for 6 card. So it's because we have the second skill, which is for every 2 card in my prison, my front row will plus 5k, and if there is 10 or more cards, my front row will plus 1 criticals. So it will have a certain pressure to the opponent if they just stuck at 4 damage and without any CBs. Yeah. So but as we know that your opponent might CB deny you. So luckily, Bushiro they have issued a new PRs, which is the security upgrader. So this make a new combo within the Seraph deck. So as we know that grade 4 didn't have any shield. So sometimes you can play like maybe 4 of the Seraph and 3 of the security upgrader. But for playing this matchup is more suitable is because when you urgently need to guard your opponent attack, a 5k is very important. So talk about the PRs. So the PR skill is activation ability. So when you didn't right during this turn and your Seraph is grade 3, your Vanguard is grade 3 or above Seraph, you can retire this unit and then capture one of your opponent drop zone, which is chosen by themselves. And you can write a grade 4 Seraph from your deck, hand, and draw. So this is a really game-changing deck. It's because we often know that grade 4 deck is very slow compared to the meta, or we can say that compared to the environment. So this makes that you no need to worry about you can't write your grade 4. So and it even getting better while he got another ability, which is after riding. If you have write a card, the riding unit will -1 counter blast.
Okay. So basically reduce the CB cost lah. Okay.
So you no need to worry that your opponent will CB deny you. And you can also perform your capture. So I can say that this card really boosts Seraph a lot.
Actually. But he has to retire himself, right? Okay, Alright. So okay, what about like your strategies in terms of like what do you play for your grade 2s, your grade 1s, etc.
Okay.
Usually.
So as we know that Bushiro they recently issued another magazine PR, so I can say that the deck is kind of heavy cost.
Okay.
Because most some of the card is mainly from either shop tournament PRs or magazine PRs. So these two are my grade 1 units.
You only played I mean like unit cards for grade 1s, you only play 8 lah, meaning.
If including the
True. So it will be 12.
12
So this will be the magazine PR lah, actually. Okay, and then this one will be this one is on the BT, right? BT 13.
This is from the BT. BT 12.
So would you explain about like these cards, like the skills first?
Sure. So from the past, we know that Seraph got one stapler, which is Robo. There's a Chef Robo. So the skill is to counterblast 1, and once per turn counterblast 1, so blast 1, capture one of your opponent cards. And if your prison got 3 or more cards, you may draw 1. Yeah, or we can say that you must draw 1. So this card replaces the Robo.
Okay, yeah.
So this is Blade Staff Luna, and she has 2 skills. So the first one is if your prison got if your order zone got 3 cards, and you can plus 5k for this unit. So it also activates during your opponent turns. As long as you got 3 cards in your order zone. Yeah, and it also can't be chosen by your opponent card in fact. So you don't need to worry about your opponent can retire it. Yeah, so that you can't gain any advantage. So I think it's interesting that it say order zone instead of your prison. Yeah, so it makes that you actually need to capture 2 of your opponent units, and you can perform the 5k addition and the resistance. Yeah, so this is one of the main booster that we have. And the second skill is the most important is if any of players or any turns that the card is called from order zone to Regal Circle, you can counterblast, you can soul blast 1 to draw a card. Yeah. So as we know that Seraph being a defenseless deck, she needs more of the hand cards to gain more defensive ability. Yeah. So drain cards is definitely to gain much more of the shield value for Seraph. Yeah. So
very good means that very stable in a lot of front gate decks in a sense.
Actually, it just boosts for 2 deck, which is Wellstra and Seraph. Yeah, but I very love of this card is because I love the backstory of this unit.
I see.
So basically, we know that it's called Blitz Staff. So obviously, it's the support for Wellstra.
I see.
Yeah, but maybe many people they feel that why the card that you can say that it mainly boosts for Wellstra, but why it can have a good vibe with Seraph? I just during that time I just searched for it, and I found out that it's because she is one of the undercover that sent by Seraph to the Wellstra Blitz Company. Yeah, so I feel that wow, yeah, the card ability they really
complement each other.
Complement each other with the lore story.
I see.
Yeah,
that's interesting. I didn't know that. That's really interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
So this one is like can replace the Robo already.
Yeah.
Okay. So like plus the 5k resist permanent 13k long.
Yeah. As long as you got 3 cards in your order zone. Yeah.
Alright. So what about this card actually?
So this card is one of your key component for you to superior call your units. So the skill is when you have 2 cards in your prison, it will plus 5k. So it will make that beside of the security upgripper, all of your booster will be mainly 13k. Yeah, and it will certainly make up a magic number when attacking your opponent. And the second skill is the most important is if you got capture your opponent card during this turn, you may counterblast 1 and then capture another rear guard.
Wow.
Yeah, and after that you can check your top 5 card and then call 1 unit that same grade as your vanguard or below.
And
to any rear guard circle. Yeah.
And
so
shuffle your deck later.
Yeah. So as we know that for previous Seraph, it's hard for you to shuffle your deck. So this will also certainly filter and make your deck ratio, deck figure ratio being more consistent and more bigger. Yeah, when facing your opponent.
Not to mention that they can help you to fill the board at the same time.
Okay. So basically,
she's a very good card in the sense. Like not only that you can capture, you can prison, you can add power, you can also superior board, you can superior core full field, and then you can like shuffle the deck as well, can filter and all the things. So actually a very good card, I would say. Like originally she's a double, right, isn't she?
It's a double.
So this is a very good card actually. Okay, so this is the grade 1 for now. So what about like the grade 2s, right?
Okay, so I will leave the superior collar here. So my superior collar mainly will call out these field units. So so this is the main card. It's been used since the first Seraph complete build until right now, because the skill is very useful. So the skill is when placed on regular circle, your opponent choose one card from their hand and put into the prison, and then draw one card. So as we know that Seraph initial strategy is to decking your opponent out. So this card will help you a lot. And during my grade 2 turn, it will certainly be called to perform attacks and have the magic number. So basically, if your opponent is grade 1 or grade 2, even they take damage with one trigger, they will still need to guard it. So most of the players that I compete before, instead of guarding, they just take the damage. So it will also get the purpose that I want, which is
deck them out.
To deck them out and to take more damage. As we know that now most of the deck, they don't need much of the counterblast, so they will be more focused on guarding their vanguard. So magic number makes them need to discard more of the card for guarding. So instead of that, they will just accept the fate and just take the damage. So another grade 2. During WGP, I'm not playing for this unit. I'm playing for another unit from SSO2, and the card is called Litra. LTRA. So what the skill is, when attacked, if any of the unit is being retired from the regular circle or guardian circle, it will be imprisoned.
So it's really good.
So that card is kind of a late game strategy. So what we call late game is during your grade 4 phase, your opponent got 4 or more damage. So this card have been more important. I mean the cards it's because that if your opponent don't want to guard, then it won't have any anything happen instead of just take damage. So if the attack will make them lose the game, they will certainly need to guard it. So when they guard it, they have to their card have to be in prison. So since our grade 4 have the ability of for every 2 card plus 5k, so until the like late game, it will certainly need your opponent to perform 2 hand guards.
True.
So instead of 2 hand guard, they can also choose for guarding with PG, which is just letting me to PG 1 cards. But that's why I will play another grade 3 card, which is this unit. So what this unit do is the first skill. So if my so when placed, your opponent need to choose one card from the drop and imprison it. So we can say that it's very useful when you have lack of the unique card in your prison. But the shortcome is your opponent can choose the card that benefit him to be imprisoned. Like maybe some of the cards that have one Spartan effect, or we can say on place effect, they can choose it and be imprisoned. After that, they can clean out to use the ability. But the main focus is for the second skill, which is when your prison got 2 or more cards being imprisoned, this unit will plus 5k of attack and 10k of the shield. Yeah, so it makes your hand got more of the defensive option because it's a 10k defense, 10k shield value. And the second thing is you have more pressure on the power level. Yeah. And besides that, it also gains one more ability, which is your opponent when guard this unit attack need to perform 2 or more hand guards. Yeah. So at the beginning, I will use this unit. I will use the grade 2 to capture more of the card and make my opponent to have less card in their hand. And after that, I will use this unit to attack them, so that they will have two or less card, which makes them can't even guard my rear guard attack. Yeah. So the ideal board is my back row got all of the thing K booster, and my front row got 2 of this unit. And from my strategy, I will calculate my opponent hand cards, and if their card is very less, I will, instead of my vanguard attack first, I will attack from my rear guard first, just to waste all their hands. Yeah.
That's interesting. So is there a reason why you don't play either like 4 of this card or 4 of this card?
Yeah. So because at the end of the day, we still need to more focus on controlling our opponent.
Okay.
So that 2 kind of card is more of like late game strategy. So we still need to prepare more for the mid game and the early stage.
I see.
Yeah.
So if, let's say for example, if that grade 2 go and swing a Virina,
Yeah.
it's gonna be a problem, right? So like say if swing the Stora Virina, all of them have to go to prison.
Yeah.
So which makes it like very, which I can understand because you can actually like force your opponent to whether to guard the Stora Virina or just let all the 5 cards go to prison. Like instead of like between 2 or 5 you choose meaning.
Yeah.
So that's a very interesting strategy.
So during my 4th round, I actually faced a Jiva player. Yeah. So because my opponent, he also got trained with the Seraph deck before, so he know how to play with Seraph. Yeah. So but the thing is, if I remember, if not mistaken, he successfully utilize the Seraph Arena skill, which is to cross over dress for total of 5 original dress. So when it's restand, it can burn all my rear guards. But luckily, I got the card in hand. So for the next turn, I just call it out and attack its rear guard. So my prison from 4 cards turned into 9 cards.
Wow. Okay.
And I just use another cards like Top Spring to capture 1 more card, and it will make double critical to my front row units. Yeah.
Okay. Right. So what about the rest of the deck actually?
Okay. So this is more of the offensive option. So for the defensive option, I play 2 of these cards, which is Violet and one of the Blitz Order. So I can say that this is a very strong Blitz Order and the unit. So we will talk about the grade 2 Violet first. So as we know that defensive is the most important aspect for us to play through the games. So the Violet skill is when your opponent attack, when your grade 2 opponent attack, you can play this card into Guardian Circle, and so +1 you can choose during the battle you can choose one of the grade 2 or below rear guard to cannot be hit during
so
the battle.
technically like a sentinel.
Yeah, so it's basically a sentinel ability, but you need to pay for 1 soul blast cost. Yeah. So I only play 1 is because I already got 4 sentinels.
Okay.
Yeah. So 5 will make it very useful. But one of the conditions you need to meet is your prison need to have at least one of the opponent card to be in prison.
I see. Alright.
Yeah. So it will make your deck to have five. I can say that five now guard. Yeah. But if you want to play total of 8 or 8 also can. But you need to depends on whether your opponent will fully call out all of the unit from the prison or not.
I see. Alright. So the Blitz order?
Yeah, so the Blitz order is one of the card that Benjamin Lee, Benji, he is inspiring me. So the skill is when placed during opponent turn. So +1 for every card in my prison, I will choose one of my opponent unit to -5k. Yeah. So I can even choose the Vanguard. So this is one of the cards that pretty counter for all the withstand unit, including Gradual, my goal, and Youthbird although can't countering it, but you can also guard for certain when certain phase lah. Yeah. So this card is pretty counter to most of the withstander unit. It's because the ability is activate until the end of turn.
Oh, which is very strong.
Yeah. So basically, if you reduce your opponent power by 20k, it will stay -20k until the end of turn. Yeah. So it will make that you in one way you can like not getting hit from the attack. Another way is you can successfully prevent another attack. Yeah, from your opponent.
Yeah. I see. Alright. So what about like your sentinels, your trigger lineups, and all that?
Okay.
Yeah.
So for this deck, I will play for 4 effect sentinels. As we know that since our deck is mainly focused on grade 4 Seraph, so you can't really use the Blitz Sentinel. Yeah. So the normal effect Sentinel is the best option for this deck. And we will play one of the branded OT as we know that it's the strongest OT among all of the nations. Yeah.
Have you tried considered playing blue OT or red OT in this deck?
Yes. When I'm play testing before WGP, we'll have some preparation and hardcore training section. I tried before by using the the blue OT or the red OT, and I can say that actually all of the OT are actually well using in Seraph deck. It depends on what strategy that you want to make. So if you are playing for branded OT, basically you just want to doubling up your front row power and criticals, so make your opponent unable to guard most of the attack.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's true.
So if you are playing for the red OT, it's certainly doing well with the grade 3 unit.
True.
So if you let this unit to withstand and attack again, basically your opponent need to make another 2 hand or more defense option. Yeah. And if you are playing for the blue OT, you can it's more of the defensive option. You can take back your sentinels, or I can say that you can also take
back the Blitz orders.
the Blitz order and another unit sentinel. Yeah. And just now I forgot to mention that the unit, I just call it Violet lah. Violet, when you place it on your front row rear guard, when you intercept it, you can still use the effect.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it makes us more useful that it will be treated as another attacker.
Yeah. True.
Yeah. So it more depends on what play style or strategy that you want to play.
Okay.
Yeah. So
3 draws.
yeah. So I will be playing 3 draws, 4 heals and 8 crits. So why we are playing 3 draws is because since we got the grade 1 unit for us to superior core and the magazine PRs for us to draw the cards. So it didn't really need much of the draw cards for you to broaden your hand size. Yeah. And for the heal triggers, during that time I'm playing for one crit heal
Okay.
and two double attack heal.
Okay.
Yeah, and one normal heal.
Okay, right.
Yeah. Why is because during that meta environment, we can see that most of the cards have most of the withstand ability. Yeah. So including ground jewel, it also more focused on withstand. Yeah. So I will be playing two withstand, or we can say that double.
Anti-withstand.
Yeah, double attack. And for the crit heal, it mainly used to counter ground jewel and youth bird. Yeah, it's because after they withstand, if you are using one crit heal, you can already be the same power level with the youth bird full blast that after persona. Yeah.
True. So have you tried testing with fronts before actually?
Actually, I have tried before, but it's not the mandatory triggers for you to use it. It's because that with the ability of your grade 4 Vanguard and all of the other Aurora Battle Princess, your front row will be boosted very high. Yeah, by the prison effect. Yeah, so you don't really need much of the front triggers.
Okay, yeah. So 8 crit is a must lah.
Yeah.
You need to have the crit options more and more, to make it more offensive in a sense.
Yeah.
Okay. Alright, so this is all Jacky's deck build lah. So alright, so once again, thank you very much, Jacky, for the interview and the deck profile. Enjoy this video. Hope you guys can maybe learn something from it as well as. So we'll probably see you on the next video as well. So thank you very much, Jacky, once more time, and then we'll see you guys next video. Bye bye.
Okay, bye bye.